Batting second in right field, Hunter Rawson. Batting third at third base, Palmer Hutchinson. Batting cleanup at first base, Tyler LaRue. Batting fifth, designated hitter, Dylan Driley. Batting sixth, in left field, Garrett Gruel. Batting seventh, behind the plate, Brady Evans. Batting eighth, at shortstop, Ben Renzi. And rounding out the Hayes Larks lineup, in center field, Leo Dominion. And on the mound for the Hayes Larks, Hunter Marshall. And now the starting lineup for your Colorado Springs.
friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Happy Independence Day from Colorado Springs as the Larks will take on the Colorado Springs Outlaws for the last game of the road trip. Larks looking to win their third straight. Showing bunt here on the first pitch is Tanner Rice. The national anthem standoff comes to an end, and the Colorado Springs Outlaws will win it. There were 4 Larks still standing from national anthem at first pitch, and they went in the dugout after it. And the lone Outlaw still standing will head back in the dugout as Rice goes with an 0-1 count. Takes this one in the left center field and will lead things off on the 4th of July with a single. Apologize for the weird view we have here. The screen on the window just doesn't come out in the press box, so got it to where it's in the best possible position from what we got, but it still isn't the best. But when we're back at Larks Park and in Dodge on Wednesday and then at Larks Park on Friday, we'll make sure everything's right. Runner at first base for Hunter Rawson, getting the start at right field tonight and is batting second in the order, the highest he's hit this year. Tanner Rice picks up his first hit since the first game of the road trip. Rawson late on the swing, sends it down the first base line, foul. Beautiful park here in Colorado Springs at Mountain Lion Park, home of the University of Colorado Springs, D2 school. There is a big rock formation out in center field. Again, the screen kind of tampers with what we're able to see, but do yourself a favor and look at Mountain Lion Park on Google, and that'll paint a picture for you of what we're looking at. Everybody on the team was taking pictures of the view out in center field, and it's a cool ballpark out here in Colorado Springs. Last game of the road trip, Larks coming into it 18-6. They're 11-3 in league play, and second place 2 games back from the Liberal BJs. This pitch here to Rawson will miss the zone. Tanner Rice gets his lead at first base. Palmer Hutchison on deck. Tyler LaRue in the hole. Wild pitch outside, but not a wild pitch in the stat category as Wilcox held on to it. Cade Sakamoto on the mound. He's 1-2 this year, and he's out of Bellevue. Bakersfield, California native, as Tanner Rice, the Arizona native, takes off for second base, and Rawson will ground out to the second baseman and put Tanner Rice in scoring position. Rawson now 0 for 1. One away for Palmer Hutchison, and another game at the 3 spots. Sakamoto, the southpaw, delivers a called strike here. This is his 6th appearance on the mound, his 5th starts, all of them consecutive. He struck out 18 through 18 2/3, giving up just 6 walks, but he's given up a ton of hits. 29 on the year, 17 earned runs, has an ERA of 8.20, and will miss outside to Hutch. His last outing was against the Cougars on the 29th, where he pitched 5 1/3 in the start and picked up the win. his first and only win of the season. Allowed 8 hits, 3 earned runs, striking out 5, no walks. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Palmer Hutchison. LaRue on deck, drilling in the hole for the visiting Larks. Larks won big time 16-4 yesterday against the Colorado Rough Riders after beating the Boulder Collegians the day before. They've won 5 of their last 6 and have won 3 of their last 4 league games. Outside and low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes, full count. This is a league meeting, so Larks will look to bump up a little bit in the standings. Inch a little bit closer to Liberal as Hutchison sends this one to the net. Outlaws come to this game. They're 9-12 this season, 7-2 in league play, 7.5 games back. They're on a 2-game losing streak and have lost 5 of their last 7. Hutchison works a long walk, and Sakamoto will walk his 7th of the season. Larks have 2 on with 1 out in the first, as Palmer Hutchison picks up walk number 8 of the season. For Hutchison, that is career walk number 50 flat for the Larks. LaRue at the box with Hutchison at first, Rice at second, called strike here. To LaRue, who looked really good in batting practice this morning. Really effortless swings, but had the loudest pop of anybody of the team back in the cages. It's the earliest game the Larks have played this season. We had to leave the hotel at 8:45 this morning. Ground ball goes to the third baseman, Gracia, who will throw wild at first base. It goes over his Latchman's head and will be in the dugout. Larks will score Rice, but Hutchison will have to be held up at third. And each team will recollect. Larks up 1-0. Actually, Rice did not score. He was out, so no run, not up 1-0. Palmer Hutchison given third base, LaRue given second base. Rice led off the day with a single, and it just was out on the fielder's choice, plus a throwing error. Larks a hit, a walk, and now a fielder's choice with the ground outs here in the first inning. We're at hitter number 5 of the inning with 2 away and 2 in scoring position. It's Dylan Dreiling, the DH. The shift was on, playing back in right field from second base was Pastorello, but the shift doesn't work for Dreiling. He drives it past him and drives in 2 on the RBI single. Larks now up 2-0. 2 RBIs for Dreiling, a run from Hutchison and a run from LaRue. Dylan Dreiling, RBI number 24 and 25 on the season. Is now on a 4-game hitting streak. Dylan, more extra base hits than singles this year. More doubles than singles as well. 11 doubles, 4 home runs, and 7 singles for tonight's DH. It's not tonight, this afternoon's DH. Garrett Gruhl at the plate, getting his 4th appearance as a Lark. He's gotten a hit in all 3 previous appearances and will look to drive in Dreiling from second base. That air proving costly here. Larks will take advantage of it and score 2. LaRue touched home plate for the 22nd time this season, and Palmer Hutchison scored his 19th. Evans on deck with Ferenzi in the hole, and we'll have a call strike to Gruhl. Evans standing on deck with the little bit of catcher's gear on, so he doesn't have to dress fully all the way up if Gruhl is the last out here of the first inning. 2 balls and a strike, 2 away. Runner at second in the top half of the first for Gruhl. Sends this one over the right side and foul. Two count. Delivery home is going to miss outside on off speed. Sakamoto will now be working with another full count on the bump. Palmer Hutchison walked on his payoff pitch. We'll see what Garrett Gruhl can do with his. Batting 6th in the order today. Highest he's hit in the order is cleanup, and he will walk on a payoff pitch. 2 walks in the inning for the Larks, and we continue the first with Brady Evans to the box. Evans getting the start at the catcher spots after having yesterday off. Brady batting .233 this season, but his on-base percentage almost 200 points higher than it, sitting at .429. He's picked up 7 hits and 30 at-bats, but has walked 10 times. Been hit by 1 pitch and reached on an error 3 times and reached on 2 fielder's choices. 2 on, 2 outs, 2-0 count now for Brady Evans after the breaking ball breaks outside. Brady Evans, one of 3 Murray State Aggies on the roster, along with Garrett Gruhl at first base and Larks pitcher Kobe Grimsley. Grimsley's been at Central Oklahoma for the past year, but he is a graduate of Murray State, where he played there for a year with Brady Evans. Evans spent 3 years with the Aggies, playing in 115 games, picking up 110 hits, batting .313 with 71 RBIs and 95 runs scored. 3-0 home, he's taken all the way. It's a called strike. Larks off tomorrow after playing in 4 straight days in Colorado. We'll head to Dodge on Wednesday, be off on Thursday, and then start a 3-game road or home series against the Colorado Springs Outlaws at Larks Park on Friday. So we're going to miss here from Evans, and we'll have a 3-2 count on Sakamoto's 28th pitch of the first. Seventh batter of the inning for the Larks. Darylyn Dreiling at second. Gruhl at first. They're taken off with a payoff pitch with 2 strikes, and Evans will go down swinging. The Larks score 2 runs because of Dylan Dreiling single to right field, and we will be up 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the first here in Colorado Springs. Bottom of the first, Hunter Marshall will take over on the bump and get his 4th start as a Lark. And firing a first pitch strike here to Mason Pastorello. Marshall has one of the quickest tempos on the Larks roster on the bump, and we'll use it here. 0-1 with the count, and goes 0-2 quickly to Pastorello, the second baseman. Pastorello, familiar with Mountain Lion Park. He is one of 4 guys on the roster from the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. He sends a ground ball to the second baseman, Tanner Rice, and each one will get acquainted with each other as Pastorello, the second baseman of the Outlaws, grounds out to the second baseman of the Larks. 1 away, base is empty for C.J. Townsend. Townsend out of Bellevue. He's a Eugene, Oregon native. Marshall comes in this game with no record through 5 appearances. He's thrown 13 2/3, striking out 15, walking 3, and gets another slow ground ball to Tanner Rice, scoops it in time to first base. Marshall just 1 earned run on the season despite what the game changer says. He has an ERA sitting at 0.66 and has been one of the best arms for the Larks this year. Quick 2 outs off of a couple ground balls to Tanner Rice takes us to James Wright, the 3-hole right fielder out of Dodge City Community College. He is one of a ton of Colorado Springs natives on the roster. Thirteen Colorado Springs natives on the roster for the Colorado Springs Outlaws, and this one sends it into right center field. Jiminian's moving back. It'll drop in front of the wall on the warning track and be a 2-out double for the Colorado Springs Outlaws here in the bottom of the first inning. Marshall's 12th hit allowed this season through now 14 1/3. It's the cleanup man, Casey Campbell. He is out of Colorado University, Colorado Springs, a Vista, California native. Marshall had his last outing on the 28th against Dodge City, where he threw 6 innings in the starts. Didn't get the win, though, because the Larks didn't get the... We were leading when Marshall was on the mound, and then when we took him off, Dodge City Ace tied it up. Then we didn't get the lead back until the 9th inning, where Preston Tabor picked up the win. 1 ball and a strike here to the cleanup left fielder. Campbell at the plates, having a really good year. 25 of 45, batting .556, and you can see why the Springs want him as their cleanup man. As a team, they're hitting .312 with a .401 on base percentage. Marshall takes a look at the runner at second, goes home, will miss inside. Count moves to 3-1. Hitters count for the Vista native, and he swings and misses at it. We will have a full count. Two for the Larks in inning number 2. Ferenzi, Jiminian, and Rice, 8-9-1 hitters. Payoff pitch will hit. Casey Campbell in the number 28 on his jersey. Marshall's 5th hit batter of the season. All 5 in his last 4 outings. Started off with a couple of relief appearances against Great Bend and Boulder, and then since then he's picked up a start against the Cougars, BJs, A's, and now the Outlaws consecutively. 2 on, 2 out to the 5-hole Jaron Wilcox, the catcher out of Phoenix College. He's a Montana native. Sends this one to the backstop. Gracia on deck, Gorsh in the hole for the Colorado Springs Outlaws. Two teams will meet on Friday for one of 3 games at Larks Park. First pitch at 7 p.m. Just like all home Larks games, be sure to tune in to catch it or come down to the ballpark. These 2 teams did not meet last year. The Outlaws did not field a team. And Marshall will strike out Wilcox quick. He leaves 2 on, striking out his 16th batter of the season, and the Larks will take a 2-0 lead to the second inning here in Colorado Springs.
Never gonna stop. No, 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 no. Yeah, 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 yeah. I ain't never gonna stop. No, no. Oh, I ain't never gonna stop. I ain't never gonna stop now, baby. Never gonna stop now, baby. Never gonna stop now, baby. Never gonna stop now, baby.
Showing bunt to start off the top of the second is Ben Ferenzi, and he will pop out behind the plate to Jaron Wilcox and be 0 for 1 on the day. Larks start each inning showing bunts. This time, well, is hits, and it doesn't go in favor of the away Larks. Beautiful day for baseball here on Independence Day. Just a slight breeze moving from left to right across the field, and you cannot complain about the temperature up here in Colorado Springs. 0-1 count with 1 away for Leo Geminian. Larks in the first inning brought 7 to the plate. Left 2 on base after 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 runs. Geminian will line this one into center field. It'll be down as Gorsh runs to it. He gets there after a bounce, and Geminian will have a 1-out single, the Larks' 3rd hit of the ball game. All of them singles. 1 from Rice, 1 from Dreiling. Now from Frenchie at the bottom of the order, and it takes us to the top of the order. Tanner Rice, who again singled in inning number 1. Larks have singled to left field, singled to right field, and now singled to center. First pitch to Rice will miss the zone, 1-0. About 30 or so people here at the ballpark, and about a fourth of them here are Larks fans. This one will be popped behind the field and drop into the stands and bounce off the window. Larks with quite a few pairs here at the ballpark of the players, as Rice will be working with a 1-1 count, 1 away. Sakamoto takes a long look at Geminian, delivers an off-speed to Rice for a called strike. Sakamoto out of in Bellevue, NAIA school in Nebraska. He's a Bakersfield native, is a 6'3" lefty. Went to JUCO at College of the Sequoias in California. Spent a couple of years there. His career numbers at Bellevue, 17 appearances, just 1 start. 1-0 with a save, thrown 32 2/3, striking out 33, giving up 19 earned. Has an ERA in his 2-year career there, sitting at 5.23 for the Bruins. Went to Highland High School in California and is in Colorado for the summer. 2-2. Leo Jiminian takes off for second base as the pitch gets away from Wilcox. Rice will be working with a 3-2 count had Jiminian not slid and was aware that the ball was going to get away. I'm pretty sure he could have gotten to third on that one, but instead he will be safe at second base. Runner in scoring position. Larks up 2-0 with one away in the top half of inning number 2. Rice takes this one opposite field. Campbell, the left fielder, will move to his right and in after taking a couple steps back and will get the Larks' second out of the inning. At the College of Sequoias, Sakamoto on the bump. Made 22 appearances. 18 of them starts, going 9-8 between 2019 and 2020. 4.29 ERA with 71 strikeouts over the course of 109 innings. He's not a guy who allowed walks, just allowed 22. He's allowed 2 in this game and 8 on the summer. Two-way for Hunter Ross, who grounded out to Pastorello for the first out of the ball game. Ross in a great game yesterday, had a home run. Going 2 for 5 in the effort, scoring 3 times and driving in 2. Along with the walk, his count moves to 0-2. Hutchison on deck, LaRue in the hole for the Larks. He will go down swinging on this one that missed away and low and be outs number 3 of inning number 2. Larks get a single and a stolen base from Jiminian, but leave him at second base. We go to the bottom half. Inning number 2, Larks 2, Colorado Springs 0. Bottom of inning number 2, and Hunter Marshall starts out with a called strike just the way he did in the first inning. And we'll go up 0-1 the count against Chris Gracie, the third baseman. Gracie, that's 6th in the order. Out of Adams State, he's a Colorado Springs native. Back home for the summer. 1-1 home, he swings and whiffs at one. His swing was mistimed and will be down the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gorst on deck, Dadrick in the hole, Marshall working on the bump. Gave up a hit in the first inning and struck out 1 and allows his second hit of the ball game as this one goes past LaRue at first base. Defensive order for the Hayes Larks. It's Garrett Gruel in left, Leo Jiminian in center, Hunter Ross in right. Hutch in the hot corner, Forenzi at shorts. LaRue playing first base with Tanner Rice at the 2-bag. Brady Evans behind the plates with, of course, Hunter Marshall on the mound. takes us to Jaron Gorsh as he pops this one up to the right side. Marshall with a couple of UTA teammates on his right field side with Ronson in right, Tanner Rice at second base. Those three guys, my roommates on the last road trip, and they met with their new coach on Friday as Van Hook got picked up. It's going to be a change of scenery at UTA, but I know them, along with some other former Larks who are at UTA, are excited about what's to come. Scoreboard here at Mountain Lion Park still reads a 1-1 counts. Nobody out, runner at first base. Marshall from the stretch, swung on and missed. 1-2 goes the counts. Marshall left 2 on base in inning number 1, getting a couple of groundouts to Tanner Rice and a strikeout out of Jaron Wilcox. Next pitch for Marshall will be his 22nd of the day. 15 of his first 21 pitches have been strikes. He's thrown 71% of his pitches in the zone. Does it again here and gets a pop fly over to the right side behind the plate. Brady Evans will watch it bounce on the other side of the net. So he will stay 1-2 with the count to the center fielder Gorsh out of Colorado University, Colorado Springs. And he is a Colorado Springs native, so familiar with this town, familiar with this ballpark. Check over at first, not in time. 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the bottom of the second. Larks went scoreless in the top half, but are still up 2-zip. Marshall delivers and gets a swing and a miss, his second strikeout of the day, number 17, now through 15 on the rubber. 1 away for Braden Dedrick, the DH, batting 8th in the order. He's out at Dodge City Community College. There's another Springs native. Check over at first again, not in time. Marshall made his Larks debut on the 3rd of June. So just a month and a day ago, through 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, striking out 2 no runs. The next day, he pitched against the Collegians through an inning. Or not the next day. He had Monday or Saturday off, then pitched the Sunday game against the Collegians through an inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, striking out his 3rd batter of the season in that game. And his next outing was against the Cougars on the 11th, as this one here on July 4th will be taken into left center field. The Outlaws will get their 3rd hit of the day. Marshall's now allowed 14 hits this season. 2 singles and a double for the Colorado Springs Outlaws. In that outing against the Cougars, Marshall went 3 2/3 in his first start, striking out a season-high 6. 4 runs scored while he was on the mound, but none of them earned. 8 runs have scored while he's been on the bump, but just 1 earned through now 6 appearances. 2 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. At the bottom of the order, Brady Latchman, the first baseman, takes a called strike. Latchman, a California native, and plays at Colorado University, Colorado Springs. Only batter to not face Marshall today, and he will take a second called strike. Each team with 3 hits in the first 2 innings. Marshall looking for strikeout number 3 of the day. The first 2 have been swinging. We'll see who does here with the 0-2 counts. Swing and a miss on a nice breaking ball. Got Latchman to reach for it out of the zone and will pick up his 18th strikeout as a Lark. 2 away, 2 on, and the second Larks up 2-0. Larks back to Hayes after this game. Day of rest tomorrow and Dodge on Wednesday. First pitch at 7 p.m. as we play the Dodge City A's for the 5th time this season and the 3rd time at Cavalier Field. We'll see you at 7 p.m. on Wednesday for that game right here on Larks Network. Called strike 1 here to the top of the order. Mason Pastorella, who grounded out to Tanner Rice to start the offensive day for the Colorado Springs Outlaws at the bottom of the first. Pop fly, LaRue running forward towards the dugouts. and it'll drop onto the pavilion of Mountain Lion Park. Oh, 2 count, 2 away. Sent to right field. It's going to drop. They're going to wave Gracia home. The throw from Rawson is a good one, and he will throw out. Gracia trying to score the first one of the day for the Outlaws. What a throw from a guy who didn't play outfield until he went to Weatherford. Larks get an outfield assist from Dominion yesterday and one from Rawson today. They lead 2-0 as we go to the third here in Colorado Springs. It's on with the third here in Colorado Springs. Palmer Hutchison will lead things off for the Larks. He is 0 for 1 today with a walk and a run scored. Larks fired up after the Hunter Rawson throw from right field. Hunter Marshall especially fired up, so he was there to back it up. Got a little celebration. It was a beautiful throw from Rawson, and then a nice tag from Evans to get the final out of inning number 2. Hutchison sends this one to the left side of the infield and will be aboard. The scoreboard adds another error on the Outlaws stat line, but Hutchison will take it, be aboard for the second time today in inning number 3. Leadoff base runner for the Larks, their second of the day. LaRue gets a hold of this one, drops it in left field. Larks will get hit number 4 of the day, LaRue's first of the day. He scored a run in inning number 1 and stands safely at first base, bringing Palmer Hutchison to second. 2 on, nobody out. Air on TJ Townsend. Shortstop allowed Hutchison to reach. LaRue follows it up with a single, and the Larks will look to add a couple more from Dylan Dreiling, and we're in the same situation we were in the first inning where there was Hutchison and LaRue standing on base. Then Dylan Dreiling took a single to right field and brought them both home. Corners in on the infield. And the 1-0 delivery to Dreiling and off speed down the middle, 1-1. Larks haven't played against the Outlaws since 2020, and in that year they went 4-0 against them, winning the first matchup 11-1 on the 27th. The next day beat them 8-1. Those 2 games at Larks Park, sweeping them there. Played in against them on the 18th in Colorado, but not at this field. They won at 18-10. Dominion scored 3, walked 3 times. Hutchison scored 2 times, drove in 2, and then they beat them 10-0 the next day in 8 innings. 3-1 Palmer Hutchison now has scored 4 runs against the Colorado Springs Outlaws in his 3-year Lark career, and is looking to score another one in this inning. 3-1 to Dreiling will miss low and outside. The Larks will pick up their 3rd walk of the day. Dreiling 1 for 1 with a single and a walk, 2 RBIs. He loads him up. Hutchison at 3rd, LaRue at 2nd, Dreiling at 1st. Between innings, not this last one, but the one before it, the Colorado Springs Outlaws all came out of the dugout and off the field and gathered in a circle, and the coach gave them a mid-second inning pep talk. Hasn't really worked too well for Sakamoto. He allows the first 3 and the 3rd to reach, but again, one of them was an error, so won't fault him for that, as he throws a first pitch strike here to Garrett Gruhl, who walked in inning number 1. Sakamoto already above 50 pitches despite only throwing 2 innings. Statistically, we're in the 3rd, but nobody's out. Oh, 2 count to the left fielder from Murray State. Off the plate, 1-2. Gruhl is going to get a lot of attention from schools when he's done at Murray State, as the scoreboard here at Mountain Lion Park changes to a 2-1 count. And the 4th pitch of the AB will catch the outside part of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to the JUCO All-American. Ground ball to the shortstop, Townsend scoops it. The throw to second will get Dreiling, and the throw to first will get Gruhl, so he won't get an RBI, even though Hutchison scored because of the double play. But the Larks will take a 3-0 lead. LaRue goes to 3rd, Dreiling out at 2nd. Runner at 3rd, 2 away. Larks up 3-0. Evans at the plate, takes this one to the right side, foul 0-2, or 0-1. Larks reached on an air, singled, walked, and grounded to double play so far in this inning. Brady Evans 0 for on the day, struck out swinging to end the first inning, left 2 on, after Larks picked up 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 runs. 1 ball and a strike here as Wilcox snagged this ball to keep LaRue at 3rd base. Third time Sakamoto's pitched against the Kansas team. He pitched against the Dodge City A's on the 21st in the start, through 6 innings, picking up no decision, 5 hits and earned runs, striking out a season-high 6. And then 11 days before that, he pitched against the A's. Pitched 4 innings in the start, was credited with his first of 2 losses on the season, gave up 6 hits, 5 earned runs, striking out 4, walking 2. Evans pops this one up by the Outlaws dugout, and making a play on it is the first baseman Lashman. A nice play to end the 3rd inning. Larks get a run from Palmer Hutchison off the bat of Garrett Gruhl, and will lead 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd here on Independence Day. Bottom of the third, Hunter Marshall returns to the bump and will lead off against C.J. Townsend, who grounds one to Ben Ferenzi. Sees one pitch and will be out number one of inning number 3. Hunter Marshall's forced the Outlaws into 3 groundouts, 2 to Rice, now 1 to Ferenzi. 1 away, bases empty for James Wright, the right fielder who doubled in the first inning. Headed to right center field and was followed up with a Campbell hit by pitch, but then he was left at second base. Marshall's given up 4 hits, left 4 on, no runs, no walks for the UTA Maverick from Keller, Texas. Call strike here to James Wright. Every batter today from Hunter Marshall has seen a first pitch strike. This one will be grounded up the middle. Rice moves in, makes a sidearm throw to first while still moving in, and we'll get outs number 2 of the third inning. 3 ground outs to Tanner Rice today, 3 assists. 2 up, 2 down for Hunter Marshall and company here in inning number 3. Now the game changer shows that 11 of the 12 batters have had a first pitch strike after updating, showing 10 of 10. So one guy has seen a first pitch ball, but we will get another first pitch strike here from Hunter Marshall. He's thrown strikes on 82% of his pitches today, just 6 balls on his first 34 pitches. No balls and a strike. This one will miss the zone. 1-1 counts. One swing and a miss. Prior to this game, Marshall worked 28 swing and misses from the first 64 batters he faced. 1 ball, 2 strikes, looking for a 1-2-3 inning. The delivery is home, and it's hit to right field. Down the right field line, it goes over a leaping LaRue. Hunter Roslin heads forward in right field. Heading for second base is Casey Campbell, and he will be aboard there safely. A stand-up 2-out double after being 1 strike away from ending the third inning. Takes us to Jaron Wilcox, the catcher who struck out against Hunter Marshall to end the first inning. He was the first of 3 strikeouts from Marshall. 3 outs in a row between innings 1 and 2 were strikeouts for Marshall. Another first pitch strike here from Marsh, who made 5 appearances at UTA this year, all of them in relief, striking out 6 through 5 2/3. 0-1 count, grounded to Palmer Hutchison, who fields it, throws it to first. In time, LaRue stretches close to home plate for it, but gets the out none the same. A ground out to Rice, Ferenzi, and Hutchison in the inning will end the third inning. Larks will lead by 3 as we go to the 4th here in Colorado Springs. Top of the fourth, Ben Ferenzi will lead things off for the Larks and take a first pitch ball from Sakamoto and take another one. 2 balls, no strikes to the shortstop, who's 0 for 1 today after having a bunt attempt popped out to Wilcox, the catcher. 2-0 count outside, 3 balls, no strikes here to Ferenzi. Dominion on deck, Rice in the hole for Hayes. Ferenzi led off the second inning and is leading off inning number 4. Taking all the way on the fourth pitch, it's a 3-1 count now for the Aussie. He will line this one in the right center. Larks get their 5th hit of the ballgame. He rounds first, heads a little bit for second, and then will head backwards to first base. Hit number 1 of the day for Ben Ferenzi. Runner at first with nobody outs for Leo Geminian. Ferenzi gets a hit after having a hitting streak snapped on the 3rd yesterday. Geminian on the day, 1 for 1 with a single into center field. Obvious pickoff attempt. Ferenzi's in plenty safe. Geminian against the Colorado Springs Outlaws will ground this one into a double play. In his career against him, he has picked up 3 hits, 7 runs, driving in 4, and has stolen 2 bases, but will be out number 2 of the 4th inning, and the bases are empty now. Larks in the 3rd inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 run, 1 runner left on. Pitch up and in, Tanner Rice, 1-0. Rice sporting the American flag Nike cleats today. Not cleats because we're on turf, but turf's baseball shoes. So going patriotic for Independence Day, the first time he's broken them out in a real game this season. Larks going camo with the uniforms to be patriotic. But I was talking to Rice before the game, and he was like, we're red, white, and blue. This is the one day we should be wearing red, white, and blue, and we're going with camo, and he will fly out to Casey Campbell in left field and be the 3rd out of inning number 4. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Larks go scoreless in the top half. They are up by 3. Bottom of the 4th, Marsh back to the mound and fires in a first pitch fastball that just misses the corner. 1-0. Outlaws with 5 hits, no runs, no walks, have left 5 on in the first 3 frames. Call strike here, 1-1 counts. Tanner Rice playing back at second base. He's in the green turf down in right field. 1-1 taken to right field. It'll go past Rice and drop in front of, or to the side of Leo Dominion. He gets to it. And now Chris Gracia will have his second hit of the day. Second leadoff base run of the day. Both of them Gracia with a single to center field and a single back in the seconds. Nice save from Brady Evans on a wild pitch from Marshall. Makes it a 1-0 counts. Pickoff attempt. Marshall thought he got him. Base pass umpire says differently. Marshall was robbed of a pickoff and dodged it. He threw the guy out, and the umpire said no, and nobody in the park could believe it. Runner takes off as this pitch is sent to the backstop. 1-1. Gracia will be back to first base. Jaron Gorsh at the plate. He is 0 for 1 today. Batting .265 this summer with a .275 OBP. No walks and 13 hits. Check over at first. Sliding in safely is Gracia. Call strike 1-2. Larks going to have a pretty decently long bus ride back after this game, so Hunter Marshall going to want to keep things quick on the mound. He has one of the quickest tempo. Does a quick spin move to first. Sliding back in, or standing back in safely is Gracia. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. One-two home, swing and a miss. Marshall gets his first strikeout since the second inning, his 4th of the day, number 19 of the season. Eight-hole Braden Dedrick at the plate. He singled in the second inning. Runner takes off. Throw down from Evans. One that if Rice held the ball would have been an out. Instead it goes to Ben Ferenzi, the shortstop. Good throw from Evans. Wide of the bag, but Rice got a glove on it, but couldn't hold on to it. And sliding in safely is Chris Gracia. Inning-ending double play off the table now. 0-2 counts. Fastball outside, 1-2. Gracia now 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts for the Outlaws this summer. Dedrick 1 for 1. We'll keep this at bat alive, and we'll stay with a 1-2 count. One-two home from the stretch. It'll miss the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Marsh strikes out back-to-back, swinging. Number 5 of the day and 20 on the season for Hunter Marshall. 2 away, runner at second base for Brady Lodgman. Lodgman struck out swinging, was the 3rd strikeout of the day for Hunter Marshall. Marshall 3rd on the team in strikeouts behind Cam Walton and Hunter Parker. 0-1 delivery, check swing, but it won't matter. 0-2, quick the count. Marshall settles into a groove after allowing a leadoff single in the 4th inning. Struck out the pass, tune is up 0-2 at the counts. Face 5 in the 1st inning and the same in the 2nd, and 4 in the 3rd. This is the 4th batter of the 4th inning. 0-2 home, called strike. Marshall strikes out 3 in a row. 2 swinging, and he gets Lashman looking at the bottom of the order. Strikeout number 6 on the day, 21 on the bump for him this year. To the 5th we go. Hayes 3, Colorado Springs 0. Top of the 5th, Hunter Rawson lead things off. Had a assist from right field early in the game, but is 0 for 2 at the plate. Struck out swinging his last at bats. Batting 2nd today, getting the start in right field. First pitch to him from Sakamoto. He swings and misses at 0-1 goes the counts to Rawson. One. Rawson this year, batting average sitting at .293 with a .408 on base percentage. He's picked up 17 hits and 58 at bats, and has walked 11 times. He's driven in 9 runs and is 2nd on the team in runs scored with 25, and takes this one to deep left field. He's already hit 3 home runs in Colorado this summer, and he will pick up his 3rd of the season. Hit 2 against the Rough Riders. And Everett Middle School will hit 1 against the Colorado Springs Outlaws in Colorado Springs. Back-to-back days with the long ball for Hunter Rawson. His 10th RBI and his 26th run score. He is now tied with Jack Terosian for the team lead. And runs scored. Larks up 4-zip here in inning number 5. That one was cranked off the bat to left field, to the left side of the 375 marker. Sakamoto will go up against Palmer Hutchison now and misses the zone. 1-0 counts to Hutchison, who's been aboard 2 times and scored a run. Rawson just hit his 3rd home run of the season. It brings us to the man in the team lead for home runs. Palmer Hutchison has 8 of the Larks' 31 home runs this season. 2 balls and a strike. Larks hit 55 home runs last summer, and Hutchison will be aboard on a hit this time. A walk, an error, reached on, and now a single for Palmer Hutchison. Back-to-back hits for the Larks. They now have 7 today. Runner at first, still nobody out for Tyler LaRue. Had a well-struck ball drop into left field in the 3rd inning for a single. And he lines this one to left field. It goes between the shortstop Townsend and Gracie in the 3rd baseman. It rolls for a while. Campbell picks it up. They will Send Palmer Hutchison to third. LaRue started to go to second and then dives back in safely. LaRue been aboard 3 times, just like Palmer Hutchison. 2 through 4 in the order of each picked up a hit in this inning. Runners on the corner, still nobody out. This is about the time when the Larks get hot. About midway through the game, 6th, 7th inning. We're in the 5th inning, despite the scoreboard showing the 7th here on Larks Network, and Sakamoto will get a chance with his pitching coach, Jared Dozier. Standing at third base is Palmer Hutchison, talking to Frank Leo, and Tyler Rue jogs over from first base to chat with him. Palmer Hutchison picked up his first hit of the day in this inning, put his hitting streak at 4 games. LaRue picked up a single, his hitting streak now at 2 games. LaRue's 19th single of the year, Hutchison's 11th, 35 hits. This is 20 singles now for LaRue, 36 hits for him this year. Palmer Hutchison now with 26. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Sakamoto stays on the bump. There's a right-hander in the bullpen for the Outlaws. It's Micah Brigard working with some bands. Outside off speed, drilling with a good eye, 1-0 counts. That was pitch number 80 of the day for Sakamoto. 45 strikes, 35 balls. Looks LaRue 1 step back to first base, delivers a ball to Dreiling, 2-0 counts. Home run and 2 singles this inning for the Larks. Wilcox tried to frame it over the outside corner, doesn't get the call. 3-0. Drawing at the plate, 1 for 1 with a walk, a single, and 2 RBIs drove in Hutchison and LaRue in inning number 1. Called strike, he was taken all the way. Ronson, Hutchison, LaRue have each scored. Trying with 2 RBIs, Ronson with 1 RBI. LaRue takes off, and Dreiling lines this one into right field, and LaRue with the jump will be able to go first to third with ease. Larks get their 4th straight hit, 3 straight singles, now 3 RBIs for Dylan Dreiling on the day. 2 singles, a walk. Hutchison scores for the 2nd time, and the Larks will take a 5-0 lead, and we will have runners on the corners again. Dreiling now with 26 RBIs on the season. As a Lark, he now has 48 runs batted in. LaRue at third. Hutchison just scored his 22nd run of the season. First pitch to Garrett Gruel, miss outside, 1-0 counts. Palmer Hutchison has scored 3 times actually today. He scored in innings 1, 3, and 5. Every odd inning today. The man from KCK Community College has scored. Garrett Gruel will line one into left field, pick up his first hit of the day. Drive home LaRue. Dreiling will be held up by Frank Leo. He ignores the signs from his grandfather and will score from first base. Lars gets their 3rd straight hits and score 2 runs on the play. They're up 7-0. Dreiling's first run, LaRue's 2nd run. It is 7-0 Hayes. They are on a roll. Time is called, and we will get a new pitcher here in Colorado Springs. Sakamoto faces 5 in the 5th inning. It's no outs, allows 5 hits, and we will keep it rolling here in Colorado Springs. 7-0 Larks.
for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
New pitcher in the game, Quinn Mayer out of Garden City Community College. He's a Colorado Springs native and will miss the zone here. 1-0 count here. It's a Brady Evans. His teammate at Murray State, Garrett Gruhl, at second base after the guy they call Goose picked up a 2 RBI double in the last at bat. Evans takes this one into the Colorado Springs air. Gorsh is in center field. He takes a step back. Garrett Gruhl tags up and will be into third base standing up. Evans moves a guy over, but is out number 1 of inning number 5. Larks have scored 4 this inning already. They're up 7-0. Ben Ferenzi at the plate, 1 for 2 with a single. Takes this one opposite field. Right doesn't have to move much for it. Gruhl tags up. Larks will get a couple of flyouts. This one will be a sacrifice fly. Ferenzi picks up the RBI, and Garrett Gruhl scores his first run of the day in his 4th game as a Lark. He's on a 4-game hitting streak, has hit in every game that he's played in for the Larks, and they take an 8-0 lead. Bases empty, 2 away here in the top half of inning number 5. Call strike here to Leo Geminian. One count. Geminian grounded into a double play in the 4th after singling in inning number 2. Two-one home from Mayer, and Geminian takes it into right center field. Moving in is Wright, and he will get out number 3. Larks fly out 3 times in a row, but have a 5-run 5th inning, and will take a 8-0 lead to the bottom half of the 5th here in Hayes, or in Colorado Springs. Bottom of the fifth on a Marshall back to the bump, and will face off Mason Pastorello, the second baseman, who was 1 for 2 today against the UTA Maverick. Singled in the second inning after grounding out to Tanner Rice in the first, and he will pump one over the right side. Brady Evans calls off Tyler LaRue and takes it off the glove. It's tough to see, always tough to field a pop fly as a catcher, and he called off LaRue, dropped down to a knee to get it, and couldn't bring it in. We will go 0-1 with the counts. Townsend on deck, right in the hole for the Colorado Springs Outlaws, down 5-0. Fastball from Marshall low, a ball and a strike. Pastorello this season hitting .316. He's been struck out 20 times and has 25 hits. 2-1 count to the second baseman out of Colorado University, Colorado Springs. Called strike 2-2. Larks 5 hits, 5 runs, no walks, no runners left on the top half of the inning. Pump fly into right center field. Tanner Rice will move back from second base and gets the first out of the fifth. 8-0 Larks, they're up by 8. I think I said 5 earlier. I was looking at this inning where the Larks have scored 5. 8-run deficit for the Outlaws in the bottom of the fifth. As TJ Townsend comes to the box, he's 0 for 2 with a ground out to Rice and a ground out to Ferenzi. Numbers all over the place in the press box. That's what happens when I try to run the stream, do stats, keep a scorecard, and do the play-by-play, run camera, and run the soundboard. Oh, 1 home. Marshall misses just outside, a ball and a strike. Outlaws with 6 hits, no walks, no runs. They've been left on base 6 times. Marshall has struck out 6 guys. Struck out every out of the 4th inning after allowing a leadoff single. Struck out 7 through 9 in the order. Gets an ugly swing and a miss here, 1-2. Defense straight up for the Larks. Rice, however, playing back at second base. His feet on the green turf here at Mount Lion Park. From the stretch, this one's ground to Hutchison. He takes it over his glove, and it will be a 1-out base runner for the Colorado Springs Outlaws. Scoreboard shows hits, so we'll not give Hutchison an error, which works for me. And Townsend is now 1 for 3, grounding out to Ferenzi, Rice, and singling into left field. James Wright to the box. He is 1 for 2. He doubled into right center field in the first, but was left at second base. Here at Mount Lion Park, the right field corner is 330, right center field 365. No number on straightaway center, left center field 375, and it's 340 in the left corner. Call strike here, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. You're in the bottom of the 5th. Campbell on deck. Wilcox in the hole. Pop fly sent to the bullpen of the Colorado Springs Mountain Lions, who are lending their field to the Colorado Springs Outlaws. One-two count, Marsh home. Line drive to the right side. Larks wearing white pants today on the road. Outlaws wearing gray pants at home. Don't see that happen too much. It was Marshall's decision to wear the white pants. We brought both colors, gray and white, to Colorado, and we wore 2 gray, 1 white. And then the group chat. Luton asked what Marshall wanted to wear. Originally it was going to be a team decision, and he said, no, Marshall's starting. Marshall, what do you want to wear? Tonight's shot caller called white, and that's what he's working with. And he's working with a 1-2 count here to the right fielder out of Dodge City Community College. One-two home, called strike, his 7th strikeout of the day, number 22 on the season. Right, didn't like the call. We'll be back to the first base dugouts as the second out of the 5th. Against Hunter Marshall, you gotta swing the bat, or that's what he's gonna do to you. He's been very good with his location today. Throwing strikes on 79% of his pitches. Just 15 balls through 70 pitches for Marshall. Check over at first, not in time. Soundson's in safely. Casey Campbell to the box. He has been hit by a pitch in the first inning and then doubled in the 3rd inning. Another whiff on the day for Hunter Marshall. Fastball outside. Scoreboard here reads a 1-1 counts. Larks celebrated their 75th anniversary season last year. Colorado Springs program not nearly as old. They're still under a decade old in their infancy, as we get a swing and a miss here out of Campbell. Outlaws started up in 2018 as the Gladiators and then changed names in 2019 and then again in 2020. Marshall strikes out back-to-back. That is strikeouts number 8 of the day, number 23 this season. Now through 18 2/3 on the bump. He is in a position to pick up his first win of the season in his 6th appearance in his 4th start. To the 6th we go. Hayes 8, Colorado Springs 0. Top of inning number 6, Tanner Rice to lead things off. Takes a first pitch ball. Here to start off the 6th inning. He was a lone Lark to not come to the plate in inning number 5. When the Larks brought 8 to the plate, picked up 5 hits and just as many runs. No walks. A curveball from Mar has some big break to it, and he gets a called strike here to Rice. 1-1 counts. Larks start off the 5th inning with 5 straight hits. A home run from Rawson, 3 singles from Hutchison, LaRue Drowning, then a double from Gruel. 2-1 counts. Larks, 10 hits, 3 walks, 8 runs scored, 4 left on. Outlaws, no walks, no hit, no walks, no runs. 7 hits, 7 left on. Tanner Rice works a 5-pitch walk and will be aboard for the second time today. Runner at first to lead things off here in the 6th. And it'll bring up the man to hit a home run to left field in the last inning. It was a solo shot, his second home run of the road trip. They happened in back-to-back days. His first home run of the season was an Oppo Taco against the Rough Riders. And he followed it up yesterday with another home run against them, cranked it, and hit this one very well to left field. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rawson. 1 for 3 on the day. His teammate at UTA standing at first base, and Tanner Rice. 2-0 counts. Actually, 2-1. Hutch on deck, LaRue in the hole for the Hayes Larks. Rice almost overstepped the bag, going back in safely to first base. Right-hander up in the pin for the Outlaws. Left-hander up in the pin for Hayes. Rice takes off. Rawson smacks this one into right center. It's going to be down, so Tanner Rice can continue to run around the bases and don't have to slow up, and it'll be a ground rule double for Hunter Rawson. Well struck. He has seen the ball well the past few days. Two in scoring position here in the 6th inning for Palmer Hutchison. Rawson didn't start out the way he wanted to this season, but has since then been on fire. He just picked up hit number 19, his 3rd double. 13 singles, 3 doubles, 3 home runs for Hunter Rawson. Now with 26 runs scored and 10 RBIs. Rice at 3rd, Rawson at 2nd. Nobody on 1st, nobody outs here in the 6th inning. This pitch will miss the zone here to Hutchison. Scored at Mount Lion Park, reads a 1-1 counts. Hutch has scored 3 times today, has walked and singled. Called strike 1-2 moves the count. Pitch wild for Marr outside. Marr just graduated high school from Pine Creek in Colorado Springs. He's headed to Garden City Community College. Unranked by Perfect Game. Line drive will go to Launchman at first base. And the runners will retreat back to their bases as Hutchison will be out for the first time today. One away, 2 in scoring position for Tyler Rue, who has been aboard just like Hutchison in his first 3 plate appearances. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st and scored. Singled in the 3rd and then was left at 3rd. And then singled in the 5th and scored. Rawson at 2nd. Rice at 3rd. The 1-0 to LaRue in the zone for a called strike. With those 2 runs scored, LaRue now with 23 on the season. Waits on an off-speed, reads it, sends it into left field. Campbell didn't see it. Gorsh runs forward. It'll drop in left center field. Rawson is going to head for 3rd and be in safely. A risky move pays off as Rice scores for 3rd. LaRue goes to 2nd on the throw. And the Larks will lead 9-0 now as Rice scores his first run of the day. 1 through 6 in the order of each scored a run today. was a bold move from Rawson to move to third base, but it paid off. So still 2 in scoring position with 1 out. Larks now up by 9. Dylan Dryling to the plate. Wouldn't want to pitch to him. He has been aboard 3 times a day, just like the guys 3 and 4 in the order. That 3 through 5 today has been deadly. Dryling, 2 singles, a walk, a run scored, but he's driven in 3. 0-1 bounces off of Wilcox. Dylan Dryling tells Rawson to stay at third base, and Rawson holds up. This is Mar's 5th appearance of the season. On the mound, he's thrown 11 1/3, gave up 7 hits, 1 earned run, walked 2, struck out 7. Dryling sends this one into center field. Gorsh will get under it. He loses it for a second. The Outlaws really struggling to see the ball out here in Colorado Springs. He dives for it the last second. It drops. LaRue rounds third, heads home, and he slid around the tag. What a great slide from LaRue. The ball beat him there, and the tag should have been applied, but he lifted that right hand, did a little swim move, and scores for the 3rd time today. Dryling safe at second base. Larks now up 11-0. LaRue given a hit after the ball was lost in the sun, so he's having a 3 for 4 day. No word on the Dryling play, and it looks like we will get a new pitcher here in Colorado Springs.
What we do here is go back.
$11-0 Larks after the 2 RBI double from Dylan Dryling. It's a 3 for 3 day with 5 RBIs and a run scored for Dryling. LaRue scores his 3rd run of the day. Rawson scores his 2nd run of the day on the play. And Garrett Gruhl, who had a 2 RBI double in the last inning, will send this one into left field. And this time Campbell does make a read on it and gets Garrett Gruhl out for the first time since the 3rd inning. 2-away, Dryling at second here in Colorado Springs. Brady Evans to the box. He is 0 for 3 today. He is the lone Lark to not see the base paths. The first 6 in the order, crazy productive. All but one of the runs has been accounted for by them. They scored it, but it was Ben Ferenzi out of the 8th spot that drove it in. A run from Rice and Dryling and Gruhl. 3 runs from Hutchison and LaRue, 2 from Rawson, 1 RBI from Rawson, 2 RBIs from Gruhl, and then 5 RBIs for Dreiling. Larks have scored 8 runs in the past 2 innings. And have brought 15 to the plate. Larks with a couple of doubles, a single and a walk in this inning. Evans grounds the 2-0 delivery to the shortstop Townsend, who throws to first in time. Dreiling will be left at second base, but the Larks score 3 and take an 11-0 lead to the bottom of the 6th here in the Springs. Top of the 6th, new pitcher into the game is Preston Tabor. Larks up 11-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. Jared Wilcox just reached on a single and is at first base and has a courtesy runner for him. Tabor has pitched in every appearance on the road, hasn't made a appearance on the bump at Larks Park, and has a 1-1 count here against Chris Gracia, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. One ball, 2 strikes for Tabor out of Houston Baptist. Hunter Marshall goes 5 innings in the starts. No runs, no walks, strikes out 8, and Preston Tabor will strike out his first of the day. One away runner at first base. Outlaws need to get a run here and a little bit more. They need at least 2 over the next 5 outs to avoid a run rule. Strikeout number 3 this year for Preston Tabor in his 5th appearance on the road. He's pitched at the Saints twice, in Liberal and in Dodge. 8 innings for him. He is 1-0 this season. All appearances in relief. Striking out 3, giving up 12 hits. 2 count here to Jaron Gorsh, who's 0 for 2, struck out twice against Hunter Marshall. Final line for Hunter Marshall on the mound. Throws 75 pitches, even 59 of them strikes. Gives up 7 hits, leaves 7 on. Striking out 8 guys. No runs, no walks. Larks in the top half of this inning scored 3 runs off of 3 hits. Doubles from Dreiling and Rawson, and a single from LaRue. They walked for the 4th time and left 1 on. 13 hits, 4 walks, 11 runs for the Larks. They've left 5 on. Back-to-back punch-outs for Preston Tabor, and there is now 2 away in the 6th. So if the Larks can get a run rule, that would be big. Start the road trip back to Hayes early. 2 away for Braden Dedrick, who is singled and struck out on the day. Austin Jaslov now at shortstop. Ben Ferenzi moves from shortstop to third base. Palmer Hutchison out of the game. Two away, the 0-1 delivery home grounded to Jaslov, who throws to first in time after allowing a leadoff single. Preston Tabor gets 3 straight outs, sends us to the 7th and potentially last inning. Hayes up 11-0. Top of the 7th, Ben Ferenzi will lead things off out of the 8-hole. He is 1 for 2 today with a single, a sacrifice fly, and an RBI. Grounds this one foul to the bag. 0-2 goes the count here to the Aussie third baseman. Larks have scored 8 in the past 2 innings. They're looking for a couple of insurance runs here to ensure a run rule in the bottom half of the 7th inning. 1-2. It feels weird to be this close to having a Larks game over this early in the day. Larks have not quite played this early. They played one early game against the Cougars in Denver, but we're not used to day games in it. We'll start the 7th inning with a Ben Ferenzi pop out, his second pop out of the day. One away, bottom of the order, Leo Jiminian, who is 1 for 3 with a single. Tanner Rice on deck, Hunter Rawson in the hole. I do not think Rawson will be in the hole. He will finish his day 2 for 4 as I see Braden Lukart with a helmet on and a bat in his hand. 1-0 to Geminian. Outside 2-0. New pitcher is Cale Fields. He's now thrown 2/3 of an inning. Getting a ground out of Evans and a pop out of Ferenzi. Places Quinn Meyer, who gave up 3 earned runs and 3 hits and a walk in 1 1/3. 3-0 home. Geminian walks on 4 pitches and is aboard for the second time today, the first time since the second inning. Braden Lukart comes to the on-deck circle as Tanner Rice comes to the plate. The Larks have a right-handed pitcher up in the pen. Not quite sure who it is from here. Inside delivery, 1-0 count here to Rice. Two balls, no strikes. Rice a single and a walk on the day along with a run scored. Independence Day here in Colorado Springs. Happy 4th of July to all watching the game. Larks up 11-0. The 2-0 home for a called strike. Rice scored his 21st run of the season in the last inning. 2-1, he grounds it to the third baseman Latchman, who clutches it, throws to second. It'll be a 3-6-3 double play to end the top half of the 7th inning after the Geminian walk. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Larks 3 outs away from a run rule and sending us back to Hayes early. It's 11-0 Larks.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Bottom of the 7th, Preston Tabor returns the mound, throws one pitch home to number 19, a pinch hitter. That is Bailey Link, and he will be out. Lining out to Tanner Rice, one away. Larks up 11-0 in the bottom of the 7th. Tabor allowed a leadoff single of 6, since then has retired 4 straight. Tabor with some family in town. Watching him pitch for the first time on the road trip. 1-0 counts. Defensive changes for the Larks. It's now Ben Baker Livingston at first base and Braden Lukart in right field. So LaRue and Rawson done. Pop up to left side of the infield. Ben Ferenzi yells ball and calls everybody off and gets outs. Number 2 of the 7th inning. Larks 1 out away now from a run rule. Two outs, base is empty for TJ Townsend. Townsend on the day, 1 for 3, single in his last at bat, and takes a call strike here from Tabor, looking good here. In his 5th outing of the season, 0-1 count, 2 away, bases empty. One home, 0-2. Larks have a right-handed pitcher up in the bullpen, but Tabor wants to make sure he doesn't get to see any action. Stands ready, looks over his glove. The 0-2 from the windup, the southpaw from DBU delivers a line drive over the head for Renzi. It goes out to Garrett Gruhl, and Townsend has his 2nd straight hit and keeps the game going. They need to score this guy at the plate to keep the inning going and keep the game going. It is James Wright. They need to keep the inning going, but the Larks and the Outlaws need to go to 8 innings. The Outlaws need to get Actually, they just need to get the guy from first home. It's only an 11-run lead. 2-away, the first pitch home to James Wright will be foul. He is 0 for his last 2 after having a double in the 1st inning. 6 scoreless frames on the day between Marshall and Tabor, and it's another 0-2 count here for Preston Tabor on the bump. Relaxed day at the ballpark with quite a few Larks fans here on 4th of July. The delivery home, swing and a miss. Tabor strikes out his 3rd of the day and ends it. Larks win it 11-0 on the run rule. Strikeout number 5 this season for Tabor. That's his season high with 3 today. And the Larks run ruled in 7 innings. It's a big day for Dylan Dreiling. He scores a run but drives in 5. Hunter Rosson picks up his 2nd home run of the road trip, scores twice as well. Hutchison scores 3 times, and LaRue scores 3 times. Garrett Gruhl with 2 RBI. Hunter Marshall picks up his first win as a Lark. Through 5 innings, gave up no walks, no runs, striking out 8. Tabor throws the last 2, 1 hit allowed, 3 strikeouts, no walks, no runs. Larks off tomorrow. We're heading back to Hayes right after this one. We will play Dodge City on Wednesday. First pitch at 7 p.m. from Dodge before we start a homestand against the Outlaws. So we'll see you Wednesday. Larks win it 11-0 here on Independence Day. Happy 4th of July. This has been Carson Ackerman signing off on Larks Network. Enjoy the rest of your Independence Day, and we'll see you Wednesday.